kind of sat down with Adrian Dodoro, just had a discussion, you know, what do I need to do or what can I do? And he had a bit of a brainwave that I should write Sheeds a letter.
A love letter?
Not so much a love letter, but it was a bit of shameless self-promotion.
He's a left footer, we know, takes a long time to get to Carosella. Carosella bangs to full forward. This will be interesting. Peverill with a chance. Peverill kicks a goal. Schwartz is going to be disappointed.
Well, 8 seasons, 144 games, a terrific story. Thanks for joining us, Damien Peverill.
Roland, thank you, mate.
It is a great story because I guess it's one of persistence and just knocking on the door time and time again, and eventually it paid off and you ended up with a really, really good AFL career.
It is, yeah. I mean, I was saying before, so 144 games was 144 more than I thought I was going to get for a long time. So, yeah, I suppose just got a few knockbacks and not getting drafted for I suppose 4 years.
Yeah.
I was kind of just at the point of saying, all right, I'm going to go back to local footy and play with my mates, and yeah, I was kind of lucky to just end up on a rookie list and potentially going back to local footy to playing AFL footy against Sydney up in Sydney within the space of sort of 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It was very surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I suppose a lot of hard work finally paying off.
Let's just take people through that journey. So you played under 18s for the Calder Cannons. I think you trained with the Western Bulldogs, went to Coburg after that, then to Melbourne on their rookie list, spent a year playing with their reserves, and then finally to Essendon. This is after starting with Keilor Park Footy Club. Have I left anything out?
No, that covers off pretty well. Obviously finished up under 18s at Calder and wasn't fortunate enough to get drafted. I was fortunate to get an invite to the Bulldogs to do a pre-season there, and last 4 weeks before they kind of gave me the tap on the shoulder and said thanks but no thanks. So from there went to and played that 98 season with Coburg, and I think we won 2 games for the year and averaged a losing margin of about 10 or 12 goals. But yeah, obviously did enough that year for Melbourne to once again offer me the chance to do a pre-season there, and lasted more than 4 weeks and got to play the season there just on there as a top-up player. So thought there was a sneaky chance in the 99 to get drafted by the D's. Got a 3rd chance, which a lot of blokes don't get 1 chance. I ended up getting 3. Came to Essendon, did the same thing, played as a top-up player. Yeah, I was lucky enough to get picked up when he was the last pick in the rookie draft, 2001. So I think pick number 36.
Here's young Peverill. Oh, he's got it, has he? Just squeezed it in. It's a goal. Oh.
You said you were almost on the point of going back to local footy. Geez, your self-esteem must have taken a battering.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember after the Bulldogs sort of gave me the tap on the shoulder, and sort of 18 years old at the time, thinking that was my one and only chance, and so driving home in tears and not really knowing what my life was going to be and where I was going to end up. And
was it always the same reason given as to? I mean, or were you given reasons why you were not getting there?
Yeah. So the reason that the Bulldogs gave me was I wasn't enthusiastic enough.
Really? Find that hard to believe, having seen you play?
Yeah, so I think that was Terry Wallace's nice way of saying, we don't think you're good enough.
Right.
Melbourne kept me on for that year. Chris Fagan was coach of the reserves, and his comment was, we love your enthusiasm.
Yeah,
so
right. Okay. We fix that one up.
Fairly contrasting sort of feedback there. Any phone call or any feedback from the Demons, I kind of had to call them, to call Chris to say, what's going on? Am I with you next year? Aren't I? Are there any reasons why not? And he was nice enough to say, look, there's no room for you here.
Yeah.
And the general feedback during the year was quite similar. Very left-sided.
Yeah.
Probably not a great kick, not a great mark, not overly athletic.
Aren't most left footers very left-sided, by the way?
Well, I think most people are either very left-sided or very right-sided.
Yeah.
I mean, the best player I ever played with was James Hird, and he couldn't kick left foot to save himself. So, but yeah, I mean, I I was very left-sided and right foot sort of needed icing up if I kicked on it. But it didn't get a lot of work.
Yeah.
But all clubs were and still are looking for that perfect kind of prototype of a footballer, and
Which doesn't really exist.
doesn't exist. And I certainly didn't fit that mould. And 6 foot on a good day,
Yeah.
80 odd kilos, and dime a dozen, sort of half-back flanker, winger,
Yeah.
midfielder. No, there's 1,000 of those guys in every draft.
Now a chance for Lloyd at the back. Barry was Lloyd held. Lloyd's first to recover. Snap at goal. Ball still in play. Solomon wants Peverill. Peverill from 10 metres. Kicks a goal for the Bombers.
End of 99, start of 2000, got the invite to do the pre-season with Essendon. Given my history, wasn't overly confident of getting drafted into that year, and I kind of sat down with Adrian Todoro, just had a discussion, what do I need to do, or what can I do? And he had a bit of a brainwave that I should write Sheeds a letter.
A love letter.
Not so much a love letter, but it was a bit of shameless self-promotion.
Yeah. You don't strike me as the self-promoting type.
No. So I didn't write the letter.
Yeah.
Adrian actually constructed the letter, and I kind of typed it out. But yeah,
Did you change much from what he
changed nothing.
Right.
Kept it as is.
Okay.
So Adrian kind of knew Sheeds really well and knew
what he'd
what
like.
made him tick,
Yeah.
what he liked. So I kind of trusted him, and kind of just saying how hard I'd work if I got the chance, and things like that. So sort of knocked on Sheeds' door, which was fairly intimidating.
Yeah.
And just sort of handed him a letter and said, look, I'd love to have a chat with you once you have a read of it. We did a pre-season up on the Gold Coast, and she just sort of pulled me aside, and we had a good chat for 20-30 minutes, and fortunate enough to get drafted. Those days nothing was televised or over the internet, and I remember sort of mid-morning getting a call on the landline. Mum answered it, said, it's Adrian Todoro, and g'day, how are you? Said, I just want to say congratulations, you've been picked up by West Coast. I go, fair enough, that's great. And then 2 seconds later he starts laughing, you're a dickhead. We've drafted you, and welcome to Essendon. Well done.
This will be interesting. Peverill with a chance. Peverill kicks a goal. Schwartz is going to be disappointed.
Well, he is a master at time, Sheeds, and you reckon he knew something about this fella. A rookie list straight into the heart of the centre square first bounce on Wayne Schwartz, and it's got a goal.
Well, Joe Masudi can rest up while the little bloke keeps going.
Once you got in there, I mean, I can remember watching you week to week and just slotting in so comfortably. So I think you tagged Wayne Schwartz in your first game.
I tagged him that game, and it's funny, we kind of got beaten the week before by Carlton unexpectedly. Now, I was able to slot in, and we were dominating games, and it makes it much easier when your team's got the ball.
Yeah.
It means your opponent doesn't. So it makes it really easy to play, and if I got caught out, there's always somebody there to help me. And personally, an unbelievable season for me, that 2001 year, coming from sort of not knowing whether I'd be good enough, not knowing whether I'd ever get a game, and sort of thinking I might go all right if I did get a chance to then coming in and playing those 9 games in a row, and being able to string sort of 9 reasonably good games together.
To the point where when Joe Masudi came back on the list and you had to go back to the rookie list, and I can remember this distinctly, you guys played Adelaide and you led the team off, and there were always stories being written about, this is wrong. Why does Pev have to go back on the rookie list and he can't play? I mean, you were a walk-up start for the best 22 by then.
Yeah. So I kind of went in knowing that I got 1 game more than I thought I was going to get. So I know I had 8 games there.
Yeah.
I knew that I was going to have to go back to the rookie list. So for me, it wasn't a big issue. That Adelaide game, leading the team off, it's kind of something which 200 game players.
Yeah.
So here I'm playing 9 games, and
Yeah.
getting clapped off by my teammates and leading them off the ground. It was a bit strange. 2002, first round 1 was pretty quiet in terms of output, but the next couple of games were quite good, and inexplicably I think I ended up second favourite in the Brownlow at the start of that season. I got me buggered how.
Did
and
Mum
then,
have a plunge on you or
oh,
something?
she must have been up big. But I remember the Anzac Day game. So obviously, myself versus Nathan Buckley, I was going to be tagging him.
Yeah.
And it was favourite versus second favourite in the Brownlow, and I went out there and busted my arm in the start of the second quarter. And
Was that the really wet one where Mark McGough won
yeah,
the Anzac medal?
yeah. So there was never any talk since or after that of me ever being anything close to winning a Brownlow.
Well, it's something to tell the grandkids, I suppose.
Well, I don't know whether I'll bring that story up. But
Well, you mentioned Nathan Buckley. Give us a quick roll call of the best players you played on.
it was my first year. It was Swass, Buckley, Robert Harvey, Andrew McLeod, Jason Ackermanis, Wayne Campbell, Adam Uze, all reasonable players. And then when you get in the next year and you're doing it week in, week out, doing it for 9 weeks was actually quite easy.
Yeah,
Doing
right.
it for 22 weeks was much more difficult. So Scott West, Josh Franku or one of the Burgoynes,
Yeah.
Chris Judd or Daniel Kerr. And
You've just about named an All-Australian side there.
yeah,
So
yeah. So there was no
easy work.
over the 144 games. There was no easy games, but over the course of that 8 years, I've probably come out pretty even with most of those guys. I reckon the one I probably didn't beat ever was probably Scotty West,
Yeah, right.
who's probably the most unheralded of all the guys I did play on.
McPhee intercepting, getting it quickly to half forward. Peverill's clear. Can swing onto his left and go straight for home. Lloyd in good shape this time. Bustled by Barry. The ball might have bounced through. It has.
I've got 144 games more than I thought I was ever going to get, and probably 144 more than some people think I should have got. But yeah, I'm probably a classic example of perseverance paying off.
Yep.
And hopefully that's something I can instill in my kids, and hopefully something that gave other players sort of hope that were coming through around the same time.
Oh, I've got absolutely no doubt about that. And you remain a much-loved favourite of the Bomber fan base. So it's been great catching up with you, Pev. Thanks for the chat.
Cheers, Ron. Thank you, mate.
Cheers, mate. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to hear a full version, go to the website and you can get the full audio podcast.